Assalamualaikum to Prof. Dr. Abdul Muttalib Haji Leman. Our group will present our group project, which is the Volkswagen Emission testing scandal. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad ALIAS. Okay, for the slight introduction, by the end of the 2015, automotive industry was shocked by the unethical action of Volkswagen Emission among the market player manufacturer. As we know that Volkswagen is the well known market player among automotive manufacturer. Since October 2015, this case has been investigation by various authorities. The investigation has to manage the cheating in the diesel emission test. Okay, so the research report is great to consider that to prevent the scandal from taking place in the future, so that the best technological methods are provided to solve the Volkswagen diesel emission scandal.
All right, so a very good day to Professor Dr. Abdul Muttalib bin Leman. So, my name is Luqman Hakimi, and I will be continuing with the presentation, which is business and organization and also the timeline. So, now we look at the business and organization part. So, the party involved is Volkswagen Group, which is a company under Volkswagen AG. So, their purpose is to do everything that is related to cars, design, engineer, manufacture, and distribute. They involve cars, commercial vehicles, motorcycles, engines, and machinery. They are also known for being the world's second largest motor vehicle manufacturer, only behind Toyota Motor Corporation. It is that big. So the company consists of approximately 340 subsidiaries. And for their products, they have three types of products. So the first one is mass-produced passenger cars, which consists of Volkswagen cars, Seat and Skoda, and premium car brands Audi, Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, and Porsche. And finally, commercial vehicles, which consists of Volkswagen trucks and Scania AB. All right, so now we look at the timeline of the case. So in 1999, there is a new rule created to supersede the previous rules, which required the nitrous oxide limit to be reduced. And when this rule is created, there will certainly be changes to the rules in other countries and other authorities. So regulations are being phased in during 2004 and 2009. And 2007, Volkswagen halted their sales of existing diesel models. 2000, in 2008, Volkswagen introduces new clean diesel vehicles. In Europe, certain vehicles are labeled as EU4 emission standard, which is EU5 compliant. Cars with test rigging software are also offered in the United Kingdom. In 2009, the US Tier 2 is completely implemented, and Volkswagen TDI vehicles are now available in the United States. In Europe, several vehicles are now labeled as Euro emission Class 5, up from Class 4 in 2008. In the period of 2009 and 2015, the diesel sales of VW cars in the United States have recovered, and their clean diesels have been reigned with awards as well as tax advantages. In 2013, the International Council of Clean Transport has asked WVU CAFE, which is a Californian-based authority that do tests involving emissions to assist in demonstrating the benefits of US diesel technology, with the hope that Europe will follow suit. But on the other hand, CAFE discovers disparities indicating low on-road emissions. These results were presented at a public meeting and published, attracting the attention of the EPA. And then the EPA resumes testing and approaches Volkswagen to find out why their real-world nitrous oxides emissions are so low. And then VW orders a voluntary recall of TDI vehicles, but CARB and the EPA are unsatisfied. You can see that during the period 2014 and 2015, this this is the initial phase of where the authorities have discovered that the results of the tests are not projected in real life. And then in the September 3, 2015, the EPA threatens to decertify 2016 diesels, and VW replies by revealing that the software was engineered to deceive tests. The EPA made public its order to recall vehicles manufactured between 2019 and 2015, and VW finally confesses fraud and apologizes publicly. And with that, their shares fell 30% on the first business day following the announcement. VW will also pay $7.3 billion to cover crisis costs. Stock drops further 17%. In September 23, 2015, Martin Winterkorn steps down as CEO. In September 29, 2015, VW has announced plans to refurbish up to 11 million vehicles impacted by the emission crisis. So then VW establishes an online tool which consumers may determine whether their vehicle is impacted based on the vehicle identification number. And then Michael Horn, CEO of VW in the United States, speaks before the US Congress. In November, according to VW's analysis, irregularities also influence CO2 emissions and fuel consumption estimates. On the November 25, 2015, VW requests for 1.2, 1.6, and 2-liter diesel engines in Europe have been approved by the German Federal Motor Transport Authority or KBA. And in December 9, 2015, VW revises prior CO2 emissions estimates, claiming that only about 36,000 cars are actually impacted. In March 9, 2016, Michael Horn, CEO of VW US, resigns, claiming a mutual agreement with the firm. And VW promises substantial compensation and buyback options for almost 500,000 2-liter cars in the United States. California regulators find that Audi engines have been modified to emit less CO2. VW has agreed to plead guilty to the pollution issue and pay $4.3 billion fine. 6 VW executives have been indicted. In the US, former CEO Winterkorn has been charged with fraud and conspiracy. Audi CEO Rupert Stadler has also been detained in Germany in connection with the scandal. Audi has agreed to pay an 800 million euro fine in Germany to settle legal claims for breach of duty of supervision. In 2019, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission claims that VW AG, Martin and others deceived investors, and they have filed a lawsuit. And in April, prosecutors in Braunschweig, Germany, have indicted Winterkorn and 4 other executives. Meanwhile, in Munich, they have indicted Stadler and 3 others. The prosecutors in Germany have accused Porsche, Dice, and Winterkorn of stock market manipulation. And in January 14 the following year, Germany have accused 6 more people. So we can see that the scandal is very, very appalling because what happened is that they were caught and it bite them really, really hard because is this is done by one of the biggest companies in the world, and to do that in a large market like the US, which everybody knows they have very strict regulations, especially California. The regulations there are very strict. So when they are caught, this certainly has an impact at the company as a whole, which to this day they are still recovering in the aftermath of the incident. So now I will pass the presentation to my friend. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad NAZMI ARIQRULLAH bin Salim. Today I will explain about the project timeline. Okay, for this project, it take a duration in 4 months, which is it start on 3 April and it end on 28 July. Okay, for this project, we divide into 6 phase, which is phase 1 is phase for investigation, phase 2 is feasibility analysis, phase 3 is trial and phase, and phase 4 is implementation phase, and for phase 5 is correction phase, and the last part is final page. So as we can see from this figure that show our project timeline for this project. Okay, next I will explain about the WBS cost. So for this project, total cost is 1.5 million euro that allocated by the government. Okay, so we build the WBS chart or the work breakdown structure chart as you can see in this figure below. Okay, for the total project cost, we divide into 6 parts, which is same as the project timeline that includes 6 phase, which is for the phase 1 is phase of investigation. We allocate 5% from total project cost into this phase. For the second one is the feasibility analysis. It take 10% from the total project cost into this part. Okay, for the trial phase is around 15% from the total project cost, it including the prototype build, software build, and emergency. So for the fourth, the implementation phase is 20% from the total project cost. Okay, for the 5 or the second last is the correction phase is 10% of total project cost, and the last one is final phase is 5% for total project cost. So as you can see in figure below, this our WBS chart that show the total project cost for our project. Okay, so I will pass to the next presenter to present their part. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is SYAZANI bin ZAMAN. So I would like to present about the suggestion to Volkswagen scandal. So the first suggestion is to conduct a comprehensive emission testing program. So a comprehensive emission testing can accurately measure and verify vehicle emission before sale or release into the environment. So there are example of comprehensive emission testing, which is RDE, which is a real driving emission test, and portable emission measurement system (PMS). So the second suggestion is to develop a sustainability program. So a long-term solution transition from fossil fuel to sustainable energy, focusing on reducing environmental impact and research for alternative energy source. So there are two examples of alternative energy source, which is the electric vehicle (EV) and hydrogen car. And that's all for my mission. Thank you.
For the client and stakeholder, for the first point is customer. Many customers have faced a loss of trust in the Volkswagen brand and had to deal with the inconvenience of recall. This client also faced the possible health and environmental effect because of uh, the misinformation about this emission level of their vehicle. For the second point is shareholder. Absolutely, dramatic decrease in the stock price of the company, which resulted in the substantial financial loss for shareholder because of penalties, settlement, and payment totaling billion of dollar, which affect the company financial performance. Okay, for the third point is the dealership. Customer lost trust in the company and sale company dropped because of dealership had to deal with the recalls, fees, and harm to the reputation of Volkswagen will be affected also. For the next slide, client and stakeholder. For the next point is competitors and supplier. Okay, this scandal had implication for Volkswagen's competitor and supplier also. Competing automakers were exposed to more investigation into their own emissions procedure, which resulted in more strict regulation. Okay, for the next point is regulatory agency. The incident caused more investigation and improvement to emission testing. For the example of the regulatory authorities for the Volkswagen, uh, they identified the use of defeat device in Volkswagen vehicles so that it their responsibility to enforce emission standard and ensure that compliance with regulation. Okay, for the conclusion, the Volkswagen diesel emission testing scandal taught us valuable lessons. Conduct that is unethical may have serious consequences, such as Volkswagen experience with significant penalty and damage to its reputation. Rebuilding trust requires honesty and ethical behavior, both of which are crucial to rebuild uh, the trust to customer. Okay, for the incident highlight the necessity of strict rules and teamwork by exposing control flaws in the system of regulation. Then it highlight the negative impact of emission on the environment and push for a move towards sustainability. Overall, this example highlight the value of morality, reliability, regulatory control, sustainability, responsibility, and customer involvement in the business area.